Bamm Ericsen here with AFTERBUZZ TV for Empire Season 3, Episode 15, titled Civil Hands Unclean. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Don't. Hey, what's up?
Short and sweet.
Right. You can follow me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
Hi, I'm Jill Munroe. Excited to talk about this episode. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill.
And I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at abigail.a.f.
Okay, so Inferno versus When Cookie Met Lucious. So Inferno. So Snoop wants he wants to join Inferno only if Jamal is on it due to the demographic that he can bring, and there was this whole comparison between Inferno and The Chronic. I'm curious what your opinion is about that, Jill.
I do not appreciate them comparing Inferno and The Chronic, although I get the reference. You know, Snoop debuted on that. It set him up perfectly for his solo album. There would be no Chronic without Snoop's participation, even though it was Dre's album. I understand, two powers. But at this point, Lucious is an artist of the past that's coming back in spurts, kind of like, I don't know, maybe Jay-Z. If Jay-Z had been hot just in the 90s or something, I'm not really certain about that. But it did sound, but you could already tell as soon as the episode came in that the two songs needed to be blended together. That is what I will say. It was obvious.
I agree with you.
I said everything. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to take time repeating you. So.
Okay. And then, so Snoop wants to do this investing so that Empire can ensure that they have a spot in Vegas. And so Angelo,
can we not skip over Snoop's whole breakdown of the Vegas situation, which I thought was very timely and reflective?
Yes, I was getting to that, but let's get into that now. What I do like about Empire is how they speak about issues that people feel that's current today. Right. And so the whole thing with Vegas is you have Lucious was saying that there's a lot of the black dollar goes into Vegas, like billions of dollars, but there's nothing for the black community to show for it. There's nothing that they own. And then Snoop goes on to say that's because they're racist.
Basically, I mean, the last thing he pointed out to the thing that happened in 96, what he was talking about was September 8th, 1996, when Tupac was shot on the Las Vegas Strip. Suge Knight at the time had a club in Vegas, not on the Strip, but kind of off of it, Club 662. And since then, I guess that was the closest thing to black ownership, but as you pointed out, and as Snoop did in the episode, a lot of fight dollars going to there, Memorial Day weekend, anytime Mayweather was fighting, you can find a big pool of money going there on the table. So, you know, very timely, addressing issues that are impacting us today.
And so at that point, did you think it was weird why he would not want to invest prior to the bomb being dropped?
No, because I think I was kind of thinking that. Why would he invest in something that... I mean, Snoop doesn't need to invest in that. I don't know. I think he's thinking larger now. And so with him bringing another demographic in with Jamal, I think that made a way better business decision for him, because I don't think he's thinking anything aside from what's going to bring in money, the most amount of money at this point.
I didn't, because I guess, you know, digging too deep, I'm like, what's really Lucious and Snoop's relationship? I know what the benefit would be to Snoop, but what would be the benefit to him? Snoop has a whole other culture of the high life culture or whatever that he can take advantage and benefit from. And so him maybe passing on Vegas is not that big of a deal, only because we know he has business interests everywhere. Maybe at the time, he just, you know, on entry, maybe it looked too difficult for them.
Okay, so before I get to that next point, now let's go to the When Cookie Met Lucious part. So Jamal, he has lost his creative drive due to, I guess, the madness that's going on with his family. Is this an excuse, or does he simply just need to get help? Like, why can't he just get another producer? I'll keep talking.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I have my reasons for thinking it. I think, one, you go through those moments creatively. He came out of the gate because he had been locked up in rehab and new energy connecting with Tori, so he had a lot of gusto. And so maybe now it's just, he's run out of a little steam. He's still dealing with the repercussions of moving off of being dependent on the pills. So I thought that was a natural sort of cycle to happen because he's trying to push it out rather quickly.
And he doesn't have, I think, a good artist to bounce things off of anymore either, to get, one creative idea or,
To stir his juices.
Yeah, there's not much there.
You
No,
don't
if you're
agree with
disagreeing,
that.
all right. So tell us what your face says.
Why don't he just find another damn producer? And also,
Isn't that easy to find chemistry though? We're kind
Yes,
of being dismissive of it,
but-
right?
but this is in the real world, this is Bad Boy Records, right?
Right.
And so go back to Detroit. You had Hollandozer, you had the Brian Hollandozer, you had a string of producers that were already in-house. So you mean to tell me that in the Empire building that there is no one that can drop or give him a beat or give him anything to give his creative juices? There's nobody in the
There
whole
is
building?
somebody in the building we discovered.
Who?
Lucious Lyon.
Okay, but there's no one else besides Lucious that can help.
Well, I feel like he's not reaching out either.
He's not reaching out. He's very
yeah.
closeted. I mean,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like that. Sometimes even though someone may be creative, you may not gel with them. And we know Jamal has a tendency to be a little crybaby-ish,
Yeah.
Do you think he needs D Major?
Yeah, I think he can come back. I think he needs him for more than one reason.
Yeah, but music-wise,
Yeah.
they had a great chemistry.
Well, they
so
also had sexual chemistry, which I
So,
think
which
makes
helps in
them more
music.
creative,
How many
right.
times do we hear that story about producers and whoever they're producing for, that artist developing a relationship and,
Same with
the
actors
passion and
too on
chemistry.
set.
Yeah,
You get
so
it's it's a project you're working on, so you get caught
get
up
that
in
connection, chemistry, alchemy,
So my
synergy.
agree.
Keep going.
My question is, what the hell is Tanache there for?
Label paid for
So-
a good 360 deal plug-in. They're trying to make fetch happen, and it's
So
not.
What is she?
I am Petty Pablo, so Petty Pablo had to go and do some digging. So I said, well, what can she do production-wise to help Jamal? Let me look her up.
Well, she writes, right?
So
Okay.
her first album, Aquarius, she co-wrote one song and she co-produced 4 songs. Her second album, Night Ride, she co-wrote 1 song and she produced 0 songs. Her latest album, Joyride, has been shelved, which was... Why are you laughing?
Listen,
So he
that
can't
is
use
why
her?
that's why she's on Empire trying to make it happen in that role, because it's not rolling in music.
But she came in there as if she...
Right.
The introduction was as if the two were going to meet and work together. Give me a break.
I mean, Two On was the jam. That rocked summer, what was it, 2014? Come
Yeah.
on. Come on, I can't sing, but roll
I
with
was
me.
waiting for it.
She and Jamal might have, I don't think so, but I just think it was a role that needed to be filled.
Waste of a cameo.
What other female singer could they have slotted in there? Kalani?
Maybe
She
not.
would have been more believable.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Yeah.
bring a female singer in at all, and do something different with the storyline.
But he has to find creative spark from somewhere.
I'm like Cookie. Listen,
I don't think
Cookie
he found it
said.
from her though, really
No.
either.
Cookie said to him, she said, "Get your head back in the game, find what you're looking for, or you're gonna be singing back up for your dad. And if you don't, and if you're not creative right now,
Get creative.
That's the reality
Figure it
of
out.
your
or
situation.
or you have to fall back.
True.
That's just
I mean, I wasn't mad at that. That's real talk and stuff he needed to hear. I'm just trying to be sensitive to the path of an artist. Right?
okay.
I mean, I don't know if this is a good. I feel like sometimes artists need the drugs and they need all of that stuff to be. I mean, you're definitely not going to be as creative of an individual if you're super inhibited and you have full control of everything you're thinking. And your mind can't wander as easily. I'm not saying he should go back to it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just.
He just
I mean,
needs
maybe he's losing it. Maybe he
major
can't
in
make
his
music
life. Yeah.
sober.
And that's a good point.
Yeah.
That was my final thing. Do you think he needs? But it's not like he's been on drugs
He
all
needs
this.
1 or 2 D's. Drugs or D major. I
mean, before though, wasn't he drinking when he would record? I mean,
Yeah, he would sip, but
Before
it
he
was
started doing pills, right?
Yeah, and the pills were due to him being shot, kind of like the Erica
So
Kane
now
story.
he's not
on
even
My
able
Children.
to drink, even though he didn't really ever have a drinking problem.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
I guess because maybe it takes away his inhibitions to not want to take the pills. Maybe the cocktail.
Okay, loosens him up.
So regardless, so Lucious had, I forgot the guy's name, but he had some other guy who was basically a Jamal knockoff,
Right.
who was trying to do the song, and so things just simply were not working. So we found out that they need each other, and so Cookie overhears a song, and she's like, "This is it, Jamal." So, but what did you guys think of the song?
I want to know what you thought of it when he started singing, because I thought that it was still
Pitchy.
Yeah, I didn't think it was him when he started singing because he wasn't on camera, and I was like, "Oh man, this guy's not good." And then I realized it was Jamal.
Okay, well, what I think about the song is, I think the song is just okay. I think it's tired. I think it's boring. It's not a hit song. No one's on radio is gonna play that. You can't listen to it in the club. And I don't know. I think you would agree with me on this, Jill. It's an intro for the beginning of the album, or it's an interlude. It's one of the two.
Well, I kind of like where they said they were placing it at the end of Jamal's album. I just kind of think when you think of the story and sort of where it's gone musically, it fits there. I think it's an album cut for a strong album, but is it a single? Not really. No.
Do you think that the last song on an album that hyped should be a single?
Well, you can always end with a message on an album, but the thing is, they're in this competition where Lucious is trying to make history, Jamal is trying to make history. You ain't making history with that song.
I just think it's part of the package. I'm not paying attention to it being the song. I mean,
but I feel like it should be a sick song with both of them on it. Like if both are on it, it should be something that. I totally see what you're saying. I just mean if both of you all are going to be on a song, at least make it something people are going to want to listen to.
I feel like I'm kind of realistic with the production direction. No disrespect, but just I don't expect wow material to develop from the producers on the soundtrack producers on the show.
Okay, so now they agree that the song is going to be on both albums. Cookie also wants to be on the stage in Vegas. When Inferno's doing the promotion or doing their residency, he wants when Cookie met Lucious as well. But then Lucious said, no, Juliana's not going to go for that. And then it went into this whole thing where Jamal was like, ask me what I think. All I want is my family to be together. And so did Lucious agree to it or did he not agree to it? I was confused. I was a little confused with that.
I think he's hedging because ultimately he knows the best thing for Inferno and for Empire and for, is this being released on Extreme? I get it all confused. Or is it just, but anyway, is to include Jamal in it. He heard that from Snoop. He knows that instinctively, but he's in love and has his Cookie Part 2 inspiration in Juliana, so he's trying to please her. And ultimately, we know that the Lyon family is going to win out. But right now, it's a little bit of a conflict.
Speaking of that, so
you just wrapped that up so nicely.
That's great.
Yes.
I keep taking all the stuff.
I was going to say mouth open the rest of the show.
No, it's okay. So when Cookie came to Lucious and brought the news that she said no, she was getting ready to maybe reveal her feelings that she still has for Lucious.
Absolutely.
And then Juliana comes in. And then Boo Boo Kitty comes in, and Lucious tells Boo Boo Kitty and Nika that you can now stay at a hotel.
No, come back home.
But then when he realized that Juliana was leaving, come back from the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said
because Juliana was leaving.
Because she was leaving.
Yeah, he was saying she could come back home. She could come back to the mansion from the hotel. I
thought Boo Boo Kitty mentioned that she was going to the hotel, and it was alluded that that's where she was going. But then after Juliana said that she was leaving, then Lucious said, then you can go back too. But the point is, does anybody feel sorry for Boo Boo Nika?
A little because bit. Here's the thing.
She at one point loved him.
She did at one point love him. She's gone all through the Crazy Town thing. I don't think we know she didn't marry him for love. She was forced into that. We know that allegedly her feelings for Lucious are over, and all they have are their little freaky ties. So she has her A&R job back. Tyreek is gone. She should be great right now, unless she had a reversal of feelings. Well, not yet.
Not
but,
yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I felt a little sorry for her because
I felt sorry for her being displaced because Lucious is an asshole, and he's obviously open for Juliana. But
I felt like super sorry for Cookie, and then I felt a little sorry for Nika, and then Nia just keeps walking back in the room. I'm like, will you just leave? Like, just go.
But
just lighten up every time.
Yeah.
It's like, stab you, Cookie. Right?
Yeah.
Stab you, Cookie.
But you know, Cookie's a smart girl, so she's watching her as Juliana is just taking these jabs on purpose. I get it. Going back to Snoop. So Snoop then says that he chooses not to invest in Inferno in Vegas because his investor by the name of Ezekiel Dubois said that he shouldn't do it.
I didn't catch that the first time.
I didn't catch it either.
Okay.
I didn't catch it either. And then, but I did notice that Thirst was writing something, so I had to go back and watch it. And so then, you know, they clicked. So now let's go to this Angelo, Miss Dubois, Cookie, Lucious, this whole thing. Do you think it's a smart move for Angelo to have the balls to just sit up in Lucious Club and shut it down?
First of all, how was he sitting? Like, he looked a mess. He was just like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't handle him trying to be a thug. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't. He looks like a child. No.
I would have to agree with that. He needs to let his
mom do it.
I would have to agree with that. He's hurt. He's heartbroken, so he's, lashing out and reacting.
Do you think that was a move that he chose to do, or do you think that was something his mom told him to do? Because I don't see the point in shutting down a club for one night.
I think he did that. I think he did that. I think it was more than just shutting down the club for one night. It's, I could do this to you every night.
Right, like I have that power.
The fire marshal is the homie. So you see there, and he's mad because he knows that Cookie loves Lucious still. And so he's just acting like a scorned lover. He's just doing whatever he can. He can't really hurt. What's he going to do? Go punch him? No. So self-sabotage too.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Yeah. And so then Lucious goes and tells Cookie, you need to go talk to him. I'm not normally one to discuss wardrobe, but that fur coat that Cookie had on when she went to go see Angelo, did you see the fur coat? Was it the white? The white with the red and the black polka dot. I was like, damn, she's not playing. They pull out the stops for Cookies. So since we're on, aesthetics, what's been going on with Terrence Howard's wigs? His little situations, like the perm, it's like half pony, half stiff.
It was disgusting.
And it was a little dry.
The end, though, he looked really good.
And I don't believe...
But you know what, though? I really liked Lucious this episode, though. Maybe Lucious in Love, you see the softer side of him and the more rational side of him and what's appealing about him. Because I liked Lucious this episode.
Yeah, I had in my notes, which we'll discuss later, is, so what the hell is wrong with Lucious? Why is he so nice?
He's in love.
the way that he just gave in to... the way he gave into wanting to be a family, the way he gave into both of them having the songs on each other's albums, I was like, what's going on with Lucious? But okay, now let's go to Mrs. Dubois.
Woo!
So Mrs. Dubois,
fake ass Claire Huxtable.
do you think she's playing her cards improperly?
I think she's in over her head no matter how gangster her family is.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying seeing Cookie have some new foes. Because obviously Anika at this point has been broken down and she's not...
Did you see that eye contact, though, between the two of them when they were all three in the room?
Yeah, I mean, I think because Cookie is like... She feels sorry for Anika and what's happening. And again, she's developed a soft spot for Anika. She, especially now with her grandchild and Anika coming to her. So Cookie almost wants to protect her.
I think they're going to team up in the next episode just because of that.
Absolutely. She wants to protect her, but it's
Yeah. Well, I think that Mrs. Dubois, especially when we go into the family dinner later, but you have to do things strategically, And to show up while Angelo and Cookie are having a conversation, you know, it shows that she doesn't trust her son, and that, like Cookie said, he's soft, he's a punk. So Mrs. Dubois doesn't trust Angelo, and then she comes in with the bodyguards. Like, you are dealing with killers, gangster people from the, like, their whole entire background. You need to be a little more strategic. And for you to just show up with your bodyguards, do you think that Cookie cares? Cookie could have had a gun in her purse.
Right.
Like, and then you go and specifically tell her, she says, when my family finally decides to shoot, your entire family will burn down to the ground. You don't have to say all that.
Right.
I mean, but I think
she's out of practice.
She's out of practice. But I also think, I think that she's used to a different practice because, you know, since she's up here, it's not like people don't get dirty at that level, but there's a lot of wordiness in all of it, and threats and monologues and speeches to one another.
I feel like, too, at her level, they have other people handle their dirty work. So really all they're doing is hurling insults because everyone else is taking care of the physical part of it. Maybe. And
so whatever her connection was to the streets, you know, with her family, obviously she probably still has touches of it. So she feels like this is a formidable action, and she lost a lot from the situation. But
the one more thing that I'll just say is, when she tried to make a deal with Lucious, what did Lucious do? Lucious turned on her. So I just think that it's a little not so wise to come up to Cookie and just say, hey, basically, we're going to take you down. Like, the way that you take her down is the first sign, Angelo, shutting down the club. And then...
But she wants that confrontation.
She wants the confrontation because she wants to ruffle. She wants to ruffle Cookie's feathers,
and she wants to remind her that you were never good enough for my son.
Right.
As if that's an insult to Cookie at this point.
At this point, and then Abigail, you mentioned about how they're used to doing things in a different way. So then after that happened, Cookie's pissed. She comes back into the room with Andre and Jamal and Lucious. Wait, are you laughing at, which part are you laughing at?
That whole scene killed me.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was so hard with all those people in the room, and then Cookie walked in, she's like, "Oh, I know you," and yeah, like,
oh no, not that one. When
no. Sorry.
When she goes when she goes to Lucious, Jamal, and Andre, and Lucious says, well, you know, you've been on the bougie uppity side. What do you think? Because Jamal was like, no, this is not the way that we do it. All we do is clap back, and Cookie was like, that's what we do.
I love that part.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Get it, Cookie?
Yeah.
Accentuate every hand clap.
Cookie is saying they all are watching us. Who do you think is what's the most logical way to handle this? Do you guys think that it should be what Jamal did and go to speak to Angelo, give him a $5 million check, and think that everything is going to wash away? Or do you think Cookie has a valid point and these people are all trying to take us down?
I think it's both. I think that you have to try the civilized way because, one, it looks good on you no matter what, just because on the outside they are still trying to maintain some air of respectability, even in the gangster area, even though I know that Jamal gave it to them. It's like, no, it'll be in your name or whatever. It's still something that they can hold over their head for later. And I think Cookie's right that if they're playing, you know, what do they say, playing and you want to get served. I'm trying to think of PC versions of to say it because I'm like not saying it right. But I think that they need to be a little reminder that, no, you're dealing with some real stuff, and you keep playing around the pound, you're going to get bit by one of those dogs. So I
get that, but giving $5 million, who's to say that they're even going to cash the check? They may hold it. They may hold it as a way to say, yeah, they're trying to bribe us.
I think they've donated to the campaign before, and they've been a part of it.
And at least now, they're not really bribing them for any, like, illegal reason or anything. It's just like, hey, let's be nice. But also, there's two different personality types, so I think that they do, like you said, have to handle it two different ways. Because I think what would stop Angelo isn't going to stop his mother. So, and she's got ties. Like,
we'll see.
Some more legitimate I mean, as far as
we'll
I think.
See.
Yeah.
What it's so crazy is because Mrs. Dubois has ties, but the same people that she has ties to, Lucious has ties because money talks and bullshit walks.
Right.
True.
So they know the same people, and Thirst is going to find Ezekiel.
Oh, he absolutely will.
He's gonna find him. I mean, he wrote it down. He's totally gonna find him. And you know, that's the great thing about Thirst is, you know, he's a lawyer. He knows enough law to know how to protect and go dirty at the same time.
Everybody needs one of those.
Yeah.
Death Row
Do you
Records have
think
it.
so?
David
Yeah.
Kenner.
Do you think that what was I even gonna say?
I'm sorry.
I know, it's okay. Keep going.
My-
I'll interrupt later.
One of my favorite lines in that scene is when Lucious and Cookie were going back and forth, and when she kept telling Jamal, "This is not the way to do it. You soft." I mean, she threw some hard daggers at her son. Did you hear what she said? She says, "Lucious, you should have made him take boxing when I was locked up. He's too soft." And then she called him a little punk.
I mean, she always says stuff like that.
I know, but for some reason, I just thought that whole entire scene, I don't know if it was
Unnecessary.
ad-libbed, but it was really funny.
I think that they are comfortable enough to
Yeah.
know kind of what works, what they can throw out
Yeah.
there and kind of play around with. And two, I think that we've established that's how Cookie thinks. That's
Yeah.
how
There's
they
no
are.
filter.
That's as much as she loves her children, she's not afraid to say, "What's wrong with you? Knock them upside the head. You got an issue. I'm not ignoring the issue. I'm going to point it out to you. I love you, but you got some problems."
Speaking of that, Andre barely said a word the entire episode, which,
Because
I
he
was
got
happy.
punked.
but so, do you think Andre showed signs of maybe he was sick, that he didn't take his meds, or was he just kind of watching, trying to figure out his next move?
He's trying to get us like grounding, I think, now. He was thrown back the episode before, so I don't think he knows what to do next. He's trying to figure everything out and where he kind of fits in at this point.
Yeah, because I don't think he expected Juliana to run to Lucious like that and to click up and link up. And so now he's in a position of vulnerability. And he can take out his dad, but Cookie brought up a really good point. Let Lucious do the dirty work and set it up and do all the hard part. And if he messes it up, we can take it from him. We can still do what you want to do, but we're going to give a second, because remember, the numbers on Vegas,
Yeah.
no matter what, those numbers were real and could do some real positivity for the company. So
Well, I will say that for some reason, I do think that was a sign that Andre, he just didn't look well. He didn't look well. He looked
looks
bothered. He seemed a little off, and so I think that was done on purpose. But we'll see, because then Nessa goes and tell Cookie, I think he's about to do something. So she's worried about him because of maybe, obviously, of what he's about to do, and maybe because she knows that maybe he's not taking his meds. I don't know. We'll see. But now, do you guys think that do you think that was a good idea for Cookie to come in to the Goon Squad, the Philly Squad, and do what she did?
yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Because what is Andre going to do? Realistically, Andre, you have Shine, and you guys go and kill Lucious. Like, no good can come of that. What's going to happen if Cookie finds out? What's going to happen when Jamal and Hakeem find out? What's going to happen when Shine decides to flip on you? We don't really know what's ahead in Vegas. I think it was an excellent idea, because Andre is reacting once again on emotion and some other things.
And she can micromanage them from within, too. And honestly, that's what I was about to say earlier. It was so funny seeing her walk in, because she didn't even have to say, like, I'm the boss. Like, it just speaks, and it just shut him down completely, because he thought he was so big and bad. And then she walks in and knows everyone personally.
And she knows everybody. One dude, she's like, I heard you was dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like she knew everybody.
And I liked how she took care of Shine and, mentioned, oh, Shine, we've known you forever, which we can attest to, because we saw him in the flashback that you pointed out a couple of weeks back. And I think Shine, even though he's riding with Andre, Shine is worried about his interests too and how all of this impacts him. So I think he's glad to kind of have Cookie in there to sort
take a
of
breath.
manage and deal with crazy ass Andre.
And that another. I had this question: is why is Shine so easy to persuade?
Thank you.
Because he has a back motive. Right now, I think for Shine, he's winning either way. If you do what you say you're going to do and promote Nessa, I make money, I get paid, I get the things, access to the things that I haven't been able to.
Technically, well, he doesn't manage her anymore, but now he works for Empire, so he does have a check.
Right, he has a check.
He doesn't have royalties, though.
He doesn't get any points off of anything?
I don't think so, because he's not managing her, so now he's working. So unless he throws his name as an executive producer, then he has no no residuals.
But he got a piece of the company or something. I feel like, and if they do take Lucious down,
Oh, you know what? They gave him his own label.
yeah, they gave him his own imprint in between. So I feel like if they do take Lucious down some type of way, then he's like, I still got my stuff over here, and I can take what I learned or take the buzz off of that and turn left. So I feel like he doesn't really have a dog in the fight, but he can benefit from both sides. So he plays whichever side he feels like at the moment is going to be the best leverage for himself.
Okay.
I think it's gonna bite him in the ass.
Likely, but you know, right now, because he's playing all sides. He's playing Juliana. He's giving her information. He's, you know, he's teamed up with Cookie. Cookie's gonna be mad as hell when she finds out that you brought Juliana in and then you let her into Lucious' office, because we know that's gonna come out. So
Well, and with Juliana, like everyone talks about how dangerous she is, but then as soon as she's on one person's side or talking to one person, it's like they suddenly forget that she's dangerous. Like Andre did that when they were telling him, and now Lucious is doing it, and it's just, I don't know.
I think how they wrote her character is that she's supposed to be very like sexy and enigmatic and charming, but I'm not getting that from Nia Long's portrayal of it. But from how they present her and write her and discuss her, I believe that is what
they were thinking.
Yeah, and that's what she's supposed to be giving you. She's
not being too seductive for me personally.
I believe she's only dangerous because of maybe the person that she knows who, or that she can call and say, take him out.
But wasn't that her husband?
Yeah.
Oh, are they saying she's dangerous because she just turned around and shot her husband in cold blood and was like, let's continue business?
I am unsure why she's dangerous. I honestly don't understand why she's dangerous. I'm not really getting it. It just seems like her motive is to obviously take Lucious down, but she's trying to take him down.
Is it to take him down, or is there still some type of connection? Because
I think
she did him wrong, took his money, so why does she want to take him out again? And then she turned around and killed her husband, so it can't be for him because she shot him.
She just wants to be on the top of the pyramid.
She wants.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we have 3 episodes left to find out, so we'll see about that. So, I have a question.
Okay.
Why is Tiana thotting around with has-been Tory? That's like Rihanna messing with Jordan Sparks.
I think Tori was supposed to maybe more like Britney Spears or something like that.
No.
I don't know.
It was gross.
Okay,
Not
Jordan.
or
Britney
not
Spears.
the threesome thing, but just like Tori her character grosses me out.
I get Tori's character, and I think Rumor Willis is playing I think she's doing a fantastic job. But what I'm saying is,
what
Tiana.
are they doing with Tiana?
Yeah,
You can do better.
Tiana is. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Tiana's like Rihanna.
Right.
Rihanna would not mess around with some has-been who's trying.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, maybe if she thought that person was sexy.
Rihanna mess with
because here's the
behind
thing.
closed
No, I
doors?
say it like this because Rihanna is known to be, she's very sexual and very, upfront with how she appears to be, or is the type that knows what she wants, and if she's interested in you sexually, doesn't mean anything. She will go after it. So I feel like they're trying to incorporate some form of that into Tiana, but it's just weird because it's like, are you just, again, is it this
And it looked
thing?
like Rumor was in charge in that situation.
Well, I think that is how they have set Rumor up Tori up, that she is this personality that's just, once again, like Juliana, that people can't resist and they get in her presence and are just drawn to her. But I don't understand why Tiana is so much.
That's my point. And then on top of that, Tori was going to take her to an all-girls party. When you are one of the top 2-3 biggest stars in the world, your circle should be very, very tight, and you shouldn't go to a all-girls party with a bunch of has-beens where you got other thoughts who are waiting to take pictures and expose you.
You are.
Look at what happened to Drake and this girl who's claiming to be
the pregnant ex-porn star. Maybe?
It does not make sense that she's going to thought around with a has-been. That's just what I think.
Okay, I found
Whoops.
Oh, Suri
Oh,
agrees.
sorry.
Siri agrees. She's like,
all right, Bamm,
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't really get why they have that going on there. It's so weird to me. But I guess it's allowing Hakeem time to focus on Bella.
Or if she's gonna do that with one of her girlfriends that are no names, that are
No,
very just.
I think the point is they want it to be someone who is. If I felt like Tiana was being more like fame hungry, maybe I could understand it, or like just looking for attention.
It doesn't.
But it's weird. Yeah. It's like she's mesmerized and open, and it's like, well, what did she do? What did she do?
Right.
Has she always had a crush on her?
Right.
Like,
Last
where's
week,
this coming
all of a
from?
sudden, the girl started singing on a live stream,
Right.
and then she started acting like a video hoe.
Right.
I don't get it.
They're like switching
I
places.
don't know.
Well, I have to admit, I'm not very fond of this Hakeem story.
You aren't in his lion pup and him becoming a man, just like we're watching Lion King.
Somebody-
I see all
yeah.
the symbolism.
I
Somebody
totally,
wanna-
it was
yeah.
so cheesy.
Somebody want to take this story? I don't.
let
So who
Jill.
cares?
So I feel like they're trying to show, because Hakeem has been the petulant, the immature one, getting hit with brooms, not caring about anything, that he's caring about something outside of himself. It's to show his growth.
He's
But
still-
don't you think it's immature to put
Live
that
stream
out
and
there
all
on
that.
live
Yes,
stream? That's
that
like
was
someone that
irritating to
Facebooks
me.
everything.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I was completely irritated by that, but for some, they had to have that moment so Lucious could see it and be touched, because Lucious is humanized this entire episode and making all the down to earth, sort of rational, loving gestures. So I got why in story why they did it, but I'm like, this is stupid. Somebody take his phone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stop. Talk to one of those, five
I think it'd be
friends that you
better
got
if
hanging
Lucious
around.
like came in and Hakeem didn't know he was there, and he like viewed him like either talking to someone about Bella or being, I don't know. There's other ways they could have done it.
And
I mean, and they did
yeah.
do it. They had Jamal mention to Lucious, oh, have you da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, maybe an Instagram post. I understand the important, one thing, but this whole I'm streaming and
Right.
emoting and doing a song out of nowhere and
And
Yeah.
so let me just back up. So, like I said, I don't care about the storyline, but Hakeem wants his name on the birth certificate.
That's
And
fair.
so this is where this all stems from. He wants his name on his birth certificate, and so he went to confront his dad about it. In the midst of that, while he was enjoying the thought session with Tori and Tiana, he came to a conclusion while live streaming. He sees these lions on the TV, and he had this revelation about how he needs to take accountable for his actions. And then from there, he comes up and he creates a song called "Elevated," where he had all his friends who was recording it, and then he's on top of the jacuzzi and he's performing this song. So that's what that storyline is. I just don't care about it.
message.
Story,
That's all it
yeah,
was.
that's all. I don't care about it. But let's go to the family dinner. Well. So, Jamal said earlier he wants to call this truce. He wants the family to be a family. Lucious says, I'm down.
Because Lucious is in love, and he's about to be missing in action anyway. So he's going to be in Vegas, up under Juliana.
And everyone's there. The sons, Cookie, Anika, aka Boo Boo Kitty, Thirst,
Mama Lion.
Mother Lions, and Lucious. They're all eating. They're having a good old time. And then Lucious decides to mention that the family's back together. Anika really did something great for the family with regarding Tariq. Mother Walker rolls her eyes because she cannot stand Boo Boo Kitty. And then he hands her the paper. What did you guys think about the fact that he says, you deserve happiness. I'm granting you a divorce, and here's $25 million.
Well, the timing is suspect because we know he wants to go thought and bop with Juliana.
Right.
But I do think it does play into the fact that prior to this, Anika wanted her freedom. She wanted to be, on her own, worried about her daughter, and have some security. And so he gave her that. So was it the right thing to do? Absolutely. Is the timing of it self-serving? Absolutely.
Do you think it's too soon to divorce, being that they haven't been married for 5-6 months? So could it come back and bite them in the ass later?
I
don't think they're gonna go that deep into it.
Okay.
I think they could always remarry if need be. Just because the thing I think about looking at that remains true about their family and them in general, they're erratic. So, I mean, Anika was his girlfriend first, then she broke up with him, then she ended up with Hakeem, and then she went crazy, and then she had Hakeem's baby, and then she married Lucious. So it's a mess. So no one would be too surprised if they
With
did,
anything.
that happened. So
And then Mother Walker, I like when she made the comment of "Thank you, Jesus."
Right.
Did you guys think drama was going to happen when Cookie mentioned, "Well, I didn't get 25 million"? Did you feel that there was going to be tension, or did you think that was just table talk?
Table talk, because
She doesn't seem like she's hurting.
the way she said it, she didn't seem really mad or irritated. She you know, she's in a good place, and she's probably still thinking, how am I gonna get Lucious back? Because remember, she's all hopped up on love right now.
Do you think Anika deserves $25 million?
Yeah. She went through a lot. She put herself through a lot, though, too. I mean, not all of that was not her choice.
Yeah.
I mean, we still haven't forgotten that she killed Rhonda, but
That's true.
maybe
That's
we're the
true.
only ones that remember. But
Yeah.
And Lucious is the only one that knows that, right? Aside from
Nobody knows that
Andre was there,
Andre
right?
Andre was there.
And Lucious knows. I
I think they're the only
think
two.
so. Yeah.
Like Lucious kind of, he never went out and said he knew, but it was indicated.
Okay. And then Lucious grants Hakeem his birth certificate with his name, with Bella's birth certificate with his name on it.
Again, right thing to do.
I don't think anything's
Self-serving.
going to change. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Petty Pablo just wonders, how the heck do you have your name on the birth certificate? He's Lucious Lyon. Let it go.
right.
Right.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
I mean,
However, though, now with his name on the birth certificate, I think things will change with all the things that were that happened at the end.
So let's talk about just open discussion. What's your take? I knew something dramatic was going to happen. Did you think that was going to happen? So basically, the feds come in and they take Bella. There was a court order saying that somehow, some way, there's been proof that Bella hasn't been living in a fit home.
And again, I would say if it's Hakeem's home and they look at his lifestyle, maybe not.
but maybe so because he live streams all types
yeah.
of
Right.
inappropriate things that go on in this.
No, I mean
home.
maybe not. It's not fit.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah, because
his
No, I got
lifestyle.
you, I
Yeah,
got
his,
you, I
I'm
got
sorry,
you.
I didn't mean
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
his
Yeah,
lifestyle's not fit for a
because
child.
now that his name is on the
Right.
birth certificate, if Lucious was there, then you
Right.
could have the nanny who was there, and
Right.
yeah, so that was actually terrible timing for his name to be on the birth certificate.
But I mean, there are still relatives. Cookie is still the grandmother.
Yeah.
But she's an ex-felon.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, this could go several different ways. I kind of wasn't here. I mean, I know why they had to do it. Oh, shout out to Anika because I really felt her pain in that moment when they came in to take the baby. I was like, okay, very nice acting scene. I felt the little levels and emotion in her.
I didn't see it from Hakeem.
Hakeem, I missed it at all. I didn't even. I'm like, does he know what's going on?
I think
Okay.
he's shocked. I don't know. I
I
don't
wasn't
think
even
he's good at
paying
reacting
attention,
on
yeah.
time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Anika kind of took over that whole scene.
Yeah, she did.
But I'm not shocked now because it's like what's not replaceable? A person is the only thing really that's not. That's gonna hit someone harder than anything else.
Yeah.
So we can kind of transition to predictions, but so with Bella now being taken, we obviously know that Mrs. Dubois had something to do with this. Where do you think this is going? Where do you see? How can this be fixed?
I'm not thinking how it can be fixed. I'm thinking how it could get as messy as possible,
Okay.
and possibly the child go into the system and then them adopt it or something like that would be kind of like a nice twist. But
Obviously, it's gonna get. We saw the previews, so obviously it's gonna get into some deep stuff. Using a child is pretty low. I'm just curious to see. I think that's something. It's not going to drag very long. We'll have Bella back or understand what's going on with her by the end of the episode next week.
Okay.
That's what I think.
But I do like the fact that Mrs. Dubois and her Bugetto squad, how they're pulling out all the stops to keep pushing and digging at the Lyons family. I love it. I love the fact that Angela went into the club and was like, yep, think we're going to shut you down. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you act up again, I'll probably shut it down again. And then maybe when you have like a big event, I'll have it shut down again. I like how they're just throwing all these things, and the Lyons normally, their whole mentality is get the gun, shoot them, and kill people. But now they're like, no, we actually can't do this because these are public figures. So now they have to kind of sit back and keep letting this family take daggers at them till they figure out how to do something. And it's refreshing and it's different than from some of the other situations that they've had to handle because they just kill them.
it's more creative.
Yeah, more creative.
So, I mean, I like it. We always like a good old enemy to see how it's going to go down. Is it going to last all the way until season 4? That's what I'm curious to see. How far it's actually going to go.
So, any other predictions?
I don't think so. I think the next part's just going to be all about the
getting
I'm getting Bella back.
So I just want to say my favorite line from the preview next week was when Cookie told Angelo, "Your mama was right about me when she said I was gay." I got so excited, like, go Cookie, go Cookie. No, so I think that next week's gonna be a good episode.
That's right, because it seems as though they kidnapped him or they have him.
Have him tied up maybe because it looks as if Bella gets lost in the system, literally. So we'll see.
I like it. I like it.
Drama.
Let everyone know where you can be found on social media.
Thanks for watching, guys. You can follow me on all social media at abigail.a.f.
You can follow me everywhere at Stiletto Jill.
And you can follow me on social media at Bamm Ericsen. Thank you guys for tuning in to my after show here on AfterBuzz TV for season 3, episode 15. We will see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.